Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about arithmetical operations that you can do with numbers. So let's first look at numbers. For numbers, we can have integers and floats. For example, here you see integer can be number 2, or number 3, or number 5. And a float can be 2.0, 2.2, or 3.0, 3.5. So those are floats. So basically, we can do arithmetical operations between any integer and integer, and any integer and float, or any float and float. So we can do addition. We can add two numbers together, or we can do subtraction between two numbers, or we can do multiplication between two numbers, or we can do division between two numbers, or we can do modulus and find the remainder between the first variable and the second variable. And we can do exponentiation between two numbers, and also we can do floor division between two numbers. So all these are different types of arithmetical operations that we can do between two numbers. So let me show you how we can do the operations between numbers, and how we can also use the operations to update a variable that has a number value. So first of all, to avoid any future confusion, I'm going to share with you a secret. When you see the equal sign, basically in Python coding, the equal sign does not mean equal. Equal sign here means that we assign a value to a variable. So when you see this equal sign, I would suggest you to read from the right side to the left side. So let me show you one example here. So for this single line, you want to read from the right to the left. So first, we have an integer value 10, and we assign this integer value to this variable called rabbit. Okay? So that's how we can read it. So next, let's see here. We want to update this variable rabbit. What we can do is that we say rabbit plus 2. So we know that rabbit has a value of 10, that's an integer, and we do actually addition operation here by adding the rabbit value with 2. So this is 12. And then we can assign this value to an existing variable rabbit. That's how we can read it. And then if we print out the value of this existing variable, the value will become 12. You can see that if I run this one here, and you can see it becomes 12. So in this way, we update an existing variable called rabbit. So this expression can be replaced by a simpler version. So let me show you here. If I commented out this line, and I can replace it with another new line called rabbit equal to plus equal 2. What does that mean? So basically, this new line will generate the exact same output as this previous line. So basically, this one here means that we are updating this variable called rabbit by adding a value of 2 to its existing value 10. So if we print out the value of rabbit again, it becomes 12. So that's how we can update an existing variable by doing some operation here. So let me do something else here. Let me just comment out this simpler version using the original version. So what if we want to do subtraction? Let's see here. How we can read it, again, we read from the right side to the left-hand side. We first assign this integer value 10 to the variable rabbit. And then we use rabbit and minus 2, make it become 8. And we assign this value of 8 to the existing variable rabbit, again, to update it. Now if we print out the value of rabbit, it becomes 8. So for this single expression, the operation, it's quite long. So in Python coding, basically, we can use a simpler version to replace it. That is minus equal 2. So here, basically, if you want to do subtraction, you can use minus equal to update an existing variable. So here, if you are running this coding, it will generate the same output for you. So basically, you are updating an existing variable called rabbit by -2 from its current value. Okay, so that's how you can update it. So let's do something more by multiplication right now. So we can actually use let's do multiplication by times the current value of rabbit by 2 and assign this new value to this existing variable called rabbit. So let's run this coding and generate the value of this variable and see what it is. So you can see now the value of rabbit becomes 20 because we times rabbit's previous value 10 with 2, right? It becomes 20 now. So if you want to replace this line of arithmetical operation with a simpler version, you can guess you basically use now the star equal sign here, right? So basically you're updating the value of rabbit by times 2 with its previous value 10. So now it becomes 20. If you print it out again, it becomes 20. Okay, so that's multiplication. So let's do division. Let me just first comment out this line here and try this original expression. So what we do is that we use rabbit's current value 10 and we can use division divided by 2 and we assign this new value to this existing variable rabbit. So let's print out the value of rabbit again. Now it becomes 5.0. It's a float. And you can see that when we actually divide an integer by another integer, it becomes a float there. So here, the current value of rabbit has been updated to 5.0. So this expression can be replaced by another simpler version. Similar idea here. Let me just comment out this line here. So basically, if you want to do division and update an existing variable, you can do / equal sign here. So basically, you're updating this variable rabbit by dividing its current value. You can divide its current value by 2. So if you print out again, and you can see that 5.0 is the output of the current value of rabbit. So it's the same idea here. Let's do modulus here. So let me comment down this line again and try modulus. So modulus basically is a remainder when the first variable is divided by the second variable. So if we use rabbit's current value 10 and do modulus, let me just use the sign here. So this is the percentage sign refers to modulus operation. So if we divide 10 by 2, the remainder is going to be actually 0, right? So if you try this one out and print it out, the value of rabbit will become 0 because 10 divided by 2 will be 5 and there is no remainder value. So to replace this line, we can use a simpler version. We can just do percentage equal sign here. So let me show you. It's going to be the same value here. It's going to be the same output. Okay, so let's do exponentiation. So let me comment down this line and try this original line again. So what we can do is that we can use the rabbit's current value 10 and we can do exponentiation to star signs here. So we are actually basically times 10 with 10 again and use this new value to update this existing variable rabbit. So let's print out the value of rabbit. So it's going to be 100 because 10 times 10 is going to be 100. Okay, so let's comment out, So let's comment down this single line here and decomment out this new line. Let's try a simpler version of the above line here by using 2 star equal sign. Let's see whether it's going to work or not. So let's see if it's going to work. So basically, to express the line with a simpler version, you can just use the sign that represents that arithmetical operation plus the equal sign to update an existing variable. So that's how we can do it, right? So let's try the last one, floor division. So let me comment down this simpler version, use the original version. So we still have the current value of rabbit is equal to 10. We assign a value of 10 to rabbit. And let's use the 10 value of 10 and do some floor division operation. So we can use the 2 forward sign to do that. So basically, what it will give you is the floor value of the quotient when the first variable is divided by the second variable. So let's try this one here and see. So it's going to be 5 because 10 divided by 2 will be 5. And the floor value of 5 is going to be 5. So that is why you're using this value of 5 to assign it to an existing variable rabbit to update it. So that's why the latest value of rabbit will become 5. If you use 10 divided by 3, it's going to be 3.3 something, and the floor value of 3.3 something will be still 3. So let's try it. See, it's going to be 3, right? So if you actually want to replace this line with a simpler version, basically you can do rabbit 2 / equal sign and use 3 here. So this line will be exactly the same as this line. So let's print out the value of rabbit is going to be 3. So in this way, we can update an existing variable's value. So now we have covered all the common arithmetical operations for numbers.